What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. NFL draft is literally less than 2 weeks away. And folks, I have a quarterback. I know a lot of people are paying attention to the big names and stuff like that. This guy got it out the mud and has the same skill level as any of those guys, man. This is a story that we're going to learn about today. We're going to talk about all the different records that he broke while he played at James Madison. We're going to talk about what he's been doing to get ready for the NFL, how his pro days have been going. He even went to the Miami Dolphins pro day as well today too. So we're going to get into all that. Very excited interview. This guy got out the mud and he could potentially be the next NFL legend playing for your favorite team. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take in, welcome to the show, Todd Centeio, man. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm great, man. Blessed. I'm honored to be on the show.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, thank you, man. I know you're a busy man. You literally just had your pro day with the Miami Dolphins, man. How did that go today, man?
It went well. Being a South Florida kid, kind of being highly recruited, I kind of seen all the guys from Dade and Broward and, played on Florida Fire. So, I got to see a bunch of old teammates and all that kind of stuff. So, it was a great feeling. We had a lot of kids from Palm Beach, where I'm from, out there and had a great showing too. So, it's always good to, have that South Florida culture and be around those people that kind of grew up with.
Oh, yeah. South Florida is like NFL University, man.
Like, no doubt.
There's not an NFL draft that don't have folks from South Florida in it, man. We stay representing, man. I love it. That's cool, man. Well, and talking to your agent and reading about you online, man, you have one of the most exciting stories of any draft prospect in this year's draft. I got to say that. Not only that, every opportunity you have been given, you have balled out of control. You've broken records at James Madison and you balled out at CSU over in Colorado. Take us from the beginning. When did you first fall in love with the game of football?
Started playing football when I was 5. At that early age, it's kind of like you kind of get the sport gets chose for you, but you get out there and you start playing and stuff, you kind of realize, oh man, I love this, and I'm kind of good at this sport. So at first I think my first touchdown I scored, I was a tight end on in flag football, and shoot, my dad asked me like how'd it feel when I scored. I said I felt like I was going to heaven. And from from then on out, I was just, I was set on football. Me and my father was set on football. My dad trained me going up all the way up to ninth grade. And, I only played football. He only let me play football. And my family, huge support system. We was always out there Saturdays, the whole family out there on Saturdays, rooting me on. My sisters was my cheerleaders. My dad was my coach. My mom was my team mom, and then my other sister would just be out there, supporting and showing the love. So, it was a team effort for sure. And, just growing up playing football, being able to grow up with some of the guys, like I said, that I seen today. I grew up with some of them, as a young guy, and when we sit back and we hang out and we talk about it, it's like, wow, man, we came a long way. So, it's just a blessing to still be able to play the sport that we love.
I love it, man. Let me ask you, man, at this whole journey and this whole process, what keeps you hungry in life?
It's just like you said before, just every time I get them opportunities, I have to seize them. I always been the underdog, so not not always, because I would say, my first 2 years of high school, I was the first kid in 2017 to have offers. I was a true as a freshman in high school, because I started on varsity. I had 7 offers as a freshman. And then the following season, I ended up committing to University of Miami.
Yeah.
So then I end up having my traumatic and humbling experience that I'm so blessed that I kind of went through, because it changed me for the better as a man. Just how I see things, my perception, and just how I deal with things on my day-to-day life. And you know that's I just it just keeps me hungry, knowing that I could have had all this taken away from me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. And for those who don't know, it was talking with your agent, it was lupus that you had.
Yeah, so it's a autoimmune deficiency that gets passed down through your genes. My mother has it, and it's more commonly found in women, but men can get it too. And
Yeah.
something has to trigger it. And just one summer, I was really dehydrated training, and I think that's what really, triggered it. And I almost had kidney failure and passed away. So, but I'm here, and it's been a long journey, but it's been a journey that I don't know if many could have walked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of people who have had the similar things happen to them, they would just walk away from the game. So
Mhm.
not only did it take courage for you to stay with playing the game of football, but also as well, you made the most of every single opportunity. You ended up going to CSU, CSU it was, right?
I went to Temple first, my first 3 years.
Yeah.
I was a utility kind of guy. They had a starter. And I would get in the game sparingly like my first 2 years. I started on special teams my sophomore year. I was a personal protector. I would call out the protections on punt, and if you know what a personal protector is, you getting 6'4", 6'3" guys with 240 that getting a 5 yard head start to try to run through your face. So,
Yeah.
I had to, knuck up and handle that, be a professional and handle that and know when to make the certain checks and all that kind of stuff. So, kind of like a little bit more, control that, a quarterback, should have. I kind of got it through being that personal protector and all that. And then 2019, I was I would get a drive a half
Mhm.
and spark the team up. The team would maybe go 2-3 and out, and they'll throw me in there, and I'll drive us down the field and score or kick a field goal, and then the team is rolling. So I had a good season doing that, and graduated in 3 years at Temple with my communication studies degree, and then grad transferred to CSU for 2 years. 2020 was a COVID season. I started the first game that year. It was a long time since I started. It was 3 years, so I
Mhm.
kind of had to knock some rust off. I could have probably made some more plays that I left out there on the field, but I played well, rushed for almost 100 yards, and you know that game towards the end of the game kind of hurt, had a foot sprain, so I was kind of like battling that all the rest of the season. We only played 4 games because all our other games got canceled due to COVID.
Yeah.
So then 2021 comes in, and I'm the guy, and I played with Trey McBride, who was a second round pick for the Arizona Cardinals.
He's a baller. Yeah, very familiar.
He's a beast. Fed him, and he got the John Mackey Award. Had some other good key pieces around me in the passing game, and you know, had a good statistically had a pretty solid showing for being my first year being the guy. And then Coach Steve Dazio gets fired. Coach Norvell comes in and basically tells me he's not renewing my scholarship. I gotta find some renew to play.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
after hearing that, all the trials and tribulations that led me to this point, it kind of came up on me, crept up on me, and I kind of contemplated retirement, but I just knew there was more to be had in college football for me and just football in general. Chasing my dream can't never, you got to see your dream through regardless. Regardless of what the outcome is, you got to see it through. So you know had a week to decide on where I was going. James Madison pulled the offer. I knew they were going FBS this season. I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
gonna be a part of history regardless. If I'm not the guy, I'm gonna help the young guys that are there, and give them all the wisdom that I done built up and collected throughout my college career, and help them out. But turns out that I went out there and handled business, and did exactly what we wanted to do, and we would have won the east side of our division and played in the conference champ, but we couldn't do it because of the rule being the first year FBS team, couldn't play in a
Yeah.
bowl game. And got a lot of accolades, a lot of recognition this season, something that as a guy, South Florida guy, like I told you I was that guy my first 2 years, and then
Mhm.
still after I recovered my senior year in high school, I was still that guy. I had a great season, but
Mhm.
going through all those times where I didn't feel like I was valued and all that kind of stuff, at Temple and all that. It felt great to get that recognition and also to win those games with those guys. I've been on good teams. Temple, we've won games where we went to bowl games and went 8-4 and all that kind of stuff. So I knew
Yeah.
what it felt like, and we definitely had that feel out there.
That's cool, man. When I watch your tape and I watch your highlights, It reminds me of someone who was just playing in the Super Bowl, man. Jalen Hurts, and the cross between that and Pat Mahomes, man. Like, you got the arm for it. Like, you can run as well too. You are and you're a pocket quarterback, man. You are a pocket quarterback who's crazy elusive, and it's like, hey, don't play with me because I run this ball up on you too.
No
Like,
doubt.
you got crazy skills, man. I love it, man. And a lot of people, man, that they wouldn't have the tenacity. Like, you're a walking, talking inspiration, man. That being said,
Appreciate
man,
that.
once you get in the league, man, like, I don't see an NFL team not liking you, right? Are there any matters that hit close to home that you would like to get involved in once you get into the league?
Um, you know, with me, the biggest satisfaction that I get, when doing something is, just helping people out, giving people, some game that, that they need. Like, just, I kind of mentor this kid now, and that's in high school.
Mhm.
And that's when he listens and it's registering, that's the best feeling, because
Yeah,
you're really giving them the wisdom from your experiences, and then wisdom from other people that I've gained, and then you're putting it all into him, and trying to wake him up and realize the blessings and the skills that he has. So I just really, one thing I would say too during my college career is really like the mental part of things and having that spiritual part of things. And I
yeah,
feel like that's one thing that I want to help kids with, even in high school, just be able to have that outlet where you could talk about how you feeling, and all that kind of stuff. Because that's huge. Especially being a kid from South Florida, we don't really talk. If you go around every country,
yeah,
every team in the country, kids from South Florida, we don't really talk. So
yeah.
unless we get comfortable with you and all that kind of stuff. So that's just one thing that's off the top of my head that I want to figure out how I can make an impact. Also, helping with some like lupus foundation and all that kind of stuff. So
That's dope, man. That's amazing. And you made a good point. Like, there's not a lot of stuff for men out there as far as like to vent. They're really like
yeah,
women. Oh, whole bunch is, oh, you're a man. Suck it up, man. Go play some
right.
football. You know what I mean? Like, things are getting better, kind of, but you got a long way to go for sure, man.
No doubt.
Now, man, you were in a couple bowl games, man. So not only were you working out with the Dolphins, you have another workout here coming up. Is it with the Eagles? Or?
With the Eagles, yeah, I fly out on Tuesday, gonna go out there, and do the local day like we did, like I had today with the Dolphins.
That's clean, man. That is awesome. I couldn't think of a better person to take him back of Jalen Hurts, man. That's
Man, it'd be a blessing.
that would exactly, man. And to have that person to learn on it. I mean, who knows? Yeah, you could go to Miami. There's so many teams that you could be a part of for sure. Let me ask you, NFLPA Bowl, big deal. And then you were in the Tropical Bowl, which I think it's here in Orlando, Florida, I believe.
Yep. Yep.
You're part of two big bowl games, man. What was that experience like? How do you feel like your performance was?
Tropical Bowl, it was good just to, see, like, you're bringing all these different players from all around the country and bringing them all together and telling them that they have to go execute plays and all that. So, it's kind of cool seeing how the different slang from different parts of the country and all that kind of stuff. So that's always cool. But practices were good. I had some good practices. I played well in the game. Just I had a few drops, but that's part of the game. And
Yeah.
first thing I did was go try to lift them up. And then NFLPA, man, that was such a great experience. Going to California, let alone on somebody else's tab, let alone as a kid from South Florida who's dreamed about just going to California. My best friend went with me too, so it was just it was a surreal moment. And then just being able to be around all those legends, former NFL players that have done it at the highest, and learning from them and hearing them how they see just your day-to-day life and how they move and all that kind of stuff. They didn't just talk about x's and o's the whole time. So they really gave us a lot of game. And practices, I had great week of practice, and in the game it was I kind of felt like I could have played a little better, but it is what it is. I showed them resiliency again in the bowl game. I slipped on the grass, try to keep my balance, put my hand on the ground with the ball, and then you fumbled it. They picked it up and scored. The following drive, answered and drove down the field and scored and threw a touchdown. So, that's one thing I would say. I'm resilient. I let stuff slide off my back, and what's next? Let's go.
I feel it, man. Now that's dope, man. You bounce back, man. It's like, okay, you scored. I'm gonna do the same thing to your team as well,
No
too.
doubt, no doubt.
And you weren't seeing ghosts. Not saying any names. That's cool, man. So, man, like, you're hungry, man. You're motivated, man. You've had near-death experiences and still had a record-breaking season at James Madison, and you balled out at CSU. That's amazing in itself, man. Once you get to an NFL team and you are selected, no matter where it is, man, what are some of your goals your rookie year and then throughout your NFL career?
Well, the goal, I always go with, what's the next step? What's the next step? So, when I get picked up, the next step is just to earn the respect of my teammates. And the following step will just be, make sure that I'm a great teammate. Another step would be, for me to, learn the offense as fast as possible so I can go out there and execute if they need me to be out there. And just want to make sure that I have some type of value, because if you don't have any value, they can dispose of you. You know what I mean? It's a business at the end of the day. So want to make sure that I can find my niche and make sure I add that value, and learn from whoever's there, whoever's the guy, learn from him, and try to implement everything into my game, and make sure I'm if they doing extra work, I'm there with them. They watching film, I'm there with them. I'm making sure I do all that kind of stuff. So those are kind of my short term goals that I want to make sure I hit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And watching your tape, man, it's hard to see any areas of improvement that are needed, man. It's dang near a perfect tape, man. Are there some areas of your game you're hoping to improve on before draft day?
Yeah, so this process really helped me kind of like tweak some stuff in my throwing form. I would kind of, my back leg as I threw would be like come up like a pitcher, like in baseball.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
instead, I started you know I started watching boxing and all that, and they incorporate their hips when they're throwing and all that. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I started did a few little boxing stuff, and it really helped me engage my hip and use it, and it just, my ball, the passes out of my hand just feel and look a little better, and it feels easier. So that's one thing I really improved on. And then just being able to be humble enough to take the coaching, and go out there and you know put my best foot forward every day, and just stack days. That's really all you can do. So
That's dope, man. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sports out there that help out football. I mean, there's some guys they do ballet. There's some
right.
guys who, if you're a tight end, you probably played some basketball before. Some quarterbacks, I've heard boxing before. I've heard different sports. You know what I mean? That ultimately help out, man. That being said, this leads me to my last question of the interview, man. Um, NFL teams, they do tons of research, tons and tons of research. They talk to coaches, they talk to assistants, they talk to parents, they talk to next door neighbors, man. They're trying to find out, so NFL scouts who are coming across this video, NFL teams who are wanting to know more about you, the man himself, Todd Centeio. Let me ask you, man, what's something you want NFL teams to take and know about you that they may not know already?
I'm just great. I'm a great person. So, you put me in the locker room, I'm gonna, know how to navigate it and know how to be a great teammate. I'm gonna be a great teammate regardless of any of my situations. You can, like I said, at Temple, I wasn't the guy, but you can go in there and no one's gonna say I wasn't a great teammate. So, I
Yeah.
feel like all the things that I've been through is kind of prepping me for these moments that are about to come up. So, like I said, it's just a blessing to be able to learn so much in the 6 years of college.
That's amazing, man. And it was dope for NFL teams watching, man. You have a whole body of work out there. You played in multiple different systems,
Mm-hmm.
multiple different coaches, and you got better and you dominated, man.
No
Like you,
doubt.
so many people stopped playing college football during COVID, man. So many people, man, they fizzled out during that time, man. And like, uh, man, you got better, man, and you dominated every single role. So, man, this next jump to the NFL is going to be huge for you, man. So this is awesome, man. Congratulations on all your success, Todd.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Before you go, any shout outs?
Too many of my people out there to shout out. Just know that you know who you are. You know how we rocking, man. And I love y'all, man.
Whole South Florida.
Whole South Florida.
Definitely, man. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, go down below in the description of this video. Comment. Let us know how this interview made you feel. If you ain't moved, if you ain't inspired, see your heart doctor. Something wrong with you. Also, as well, I'm gonna have all social media stuff down below: Instagram, Twitter. Give this man a follow the story, get inspired. I know I certainly am. If you're having a hard day, you see us as a person who persevered, and he's about to be blowing it up at the next level, man. So very excited for him. And of course, you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We'll catch y'all next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.
Turn 100 for the touchdown, king crown, gain inside, leading your town, hit you faster than the sound, bad boy, throw it down, yeah, I'm ill, not my will, don't Copperfield, fill the house, listen to the roaring crowd, drop a light, calm it down, Heisman, all the haters mouth, superhero hit them wow, packing more action than bing, boom, bam, pow, touchdown for the win, we live, subscribe right now.
Hey, thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams, plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for the alerts, comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.